massive story of the week, fellas, has been rugby, and every day it's got worse, hasn't it? I mean, you know, as a professional sportsman yourself, Luther, you must be horrified at the developments, particularly as these guys were representing England. Do what they want in the clubhouse after a game at Bath or Gloucester or anywhere else, but don't do it on the world stage.
It's a horrible thing to think that, you know, a national team, players that go out there represent all of us.
Yes.
You know, because when you play for your national team, you're representing everybody in that country when you go away.
Of course.
You know, and so you need to know that and recognise that. And when you go out, there's a standard of behaviour that you should know. And let's face it, you're going out there to play in a tournament. You're not going out there to have the time of your lives and whatever. Have the time of your lives on the pitch, showing people what you're capable of doing. That's where you have the time of your life. Yeah. And you can enjoy the other things when it's all over, when you come back here, the accolades for what you've done. And so it really does disappoint when you see this sort of thing. And as, you know, we've said it before, if this had happened to the footballers, this would have been an absolute, and you know, steps would have to have been taken by now. That's a class thing. For something to be done. And class shouldn't come into it.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Nobody shouldn't do, because it's just totally wrong. But you're allowed, because you're seen to be a gentleman, for want of a better thing, because that's what they look at, the people who play rugby. You know, and it's okay for you to behave in that way.
Working class footballer behaves like that, he's a thug. Middle class gentleman behaves like that, he's a character.
There's two things. One is class, certainly. The other one is that rugby became professional, but the attitudes within rugby stayed amateur. They stayed in, let's go and have a few beers.
If drinking is still part of that game, part of that sport at, you know, professional level, at international level, then that's shameful, I think.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely shameful that any professional sportsman, any professional athlete, they're all athletes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Olympic team?
Absolutely, because the thing is, for me, you've got to recognise when it is that you can enjoy yourself, let your hair down, and when you're there to work. Because when you go to a big competition like a World Cup, there's only one thing you've gone there for, and that is to try and bring that trophy home.
That's right.
And if you go there with any other things, oh yeah, we can do this, but enjoy yourself like you're on the way, you've gone there with the wrong attitude. And the only thing that's going to happen is what we saw happen with England when they went out there. And I'm just absolutely stunned that you know, the players, because they've let Martin Johnson down for one thing, you know, and they've let all of us down. And they've let rugby down.
Look,
I find it
as a group, they deserve criticism. But in my mind, one man destroyed England in that World Cup, and that was Mike Tindall. And he had the ability, as a former winner of the World Cup, as a senior statesman of the camp, and now a very highly respected member of the establishment. Very close to the royal family now for obvious reasons. Married to the
he's too powerful.
He should have taken the lead, and he should have said, Martin, his old mate, who they won the World Cup with, Martin, listen, I know it's difficult for you to sometimes get the respect of the boys because you played with so many of them. Let me do that for you. I will tell them that they take any liberties and they've got me to answer to. That's what he should have done.
He won the World Cup 8 years ago, so, you know, did he really want to do it that much again? I question the hunger.
He should have done. Let's go up to the Skype board, because I always enjoy talking to Neil Fissler. He's the rugby correspondent of the Sunday Express, and he's with us now. Neil, good evening to you, pal.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very well indeed. Every day goes by, and every day I feel more and more sickened by what I'm learning about what went on down there. The latest being, you know, some sort of dodgy deal for players to pay up to young ladies that they've inappropriately spoken to during the course of a World Cup. Can it get any worse?
I don't think it can. I think we said the other day that they'd hit rock bottom, and I think they've just proved it again, haven't they? Yeah, but Martin Johnson came out today trying to defend the indefensible.
Yeah, but I feel sorry for him. I mean, again, he didn't condemn anybody else. Here, what did he say here? I'm just looking at this.
Maybe it's about time he did, though, Mike.
I agree with you. He's saying certain actions by certain players
detrimental to the game. Yeah, the reporting of the leaks. But what was actually more detrimental to the game was actually the way that his players behaved.
Absolutely.
Well, with their antics, trying to remake Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in the Altitude nightclub and whatever else they got up to. Yeah, there's no excuse for it.